Hi everyone, welcome to General Chemistry 1. I'm your instructor, Sarah Shoemaker. Hi. So this video I'm making corresponds to the course syllabus, so it's really helpful if you open it up or print it out so that you can follow along, and also to keep it handy so that you can check back and refer to the syllabus if there's any information that you missed or forgot as the semester goes on. So first things first, materials for the course. You do need a textbook, but it is actually a free online textbook through a website called OpenStax. So the textbook that I've chosen is called Chemistry Atoms First. It's the second edition one. If you really like having a physical textbook, there is an option to purchase a printed copy, and I think it's about $60. You'll also need access to the online homework platform, which is called Chem 101. You can buy the access code online directly with a credit card, or you can buy it at the bookstore using financial aid deferment. So the bookstore does mark up the price a little bit. It's a little more expensive if you get it at the bookstore. There's really no way to cut costs for that, or a free version of that. It's only $30 though. I think it's about 40 if you get it at the bookstore. So the directions for signing up for that are in the first week of class instructions. There's also, you can do a free trial period for like 10 days, I think. So if you're not sure if you're going to stick with the class and you don't want to pay for it up front, you can start with the free trial, get started on the homework, and pay for it once you decide you're sticking with the class. I've also taken the time to assemble a lab kit for the course. We are going to have some hands-on labs this semester. So be sure that you get me your mailing address ASAP so that I can mail it to you, or if you're local, potentially deliver it to you or have you pick up if you're going to be stopping by campus for textbooks or something anyway. Other items that you are going to need are a scientific calculator for math. You should get yourself a notebook or a stack of papers in order to work homework problems. Even though the homework is online, you will probably need to work the problems with pen and paper or pencil and paper a lot of times. So you will want to do that. Also, I'll add it's a good idea to get yourself a calendar, whether it's a printed calendar or just something that you use as an app on your phone or on your computer, just to help you stay organized with various due dates for this class and other classes throughout the semester. Since this class and all classes this semester are online, having access to internet is crucial. And the two most important websites for you to bookmark and check daily are webmail, your student email, and Blackboard. Both of those can be reached through quick links on the North Country homepage. If you scroll all the way down the page, you'll see a list of different links. So Blackboard and webmail. If you have trouble logging into either of these and they use the same login information, then troubleshooting will happen with the NCCC help desk, whose email address is located right here, and there also is a quick link right here to the technology help desk. So make sure that you can log into those and that you check them daily for any updates. So since so much of our communication is going to be via email this semester, I do like to discuss email etiquette, good email etiquette. It's not only polite and professional, but it does result in actual better communication and information flow when you use these techniques. So I can be as guilty as anyone of sending brief one-liner emails that are more like text messages, but it's really not a professional and effective way to communicate. So I encourage you all to follow these 3 rules and to hold me accountable for following these 3 rules. First, make sure that your emails include a salutation like hello, hi, dear professor, and a closing like thanks, sincerely, warmest regards. Number 2, make sure that you use proper grammar and spelling. It is a quick way to make you look kind of dumb if you can't spell words properly. But also it is kind of a pet peeve, I think, for a lot of instructors when students email using like slang, abbreviations. I really hate it when I get like IDK instead of I don't know, or you instead of YOU. So do make sure that you spell things out and write in complete sentences and not in like text style sentence fragments. And then rule number 3 is make sure that your language is polite and that the tone is polite. A classic fatal flaw in the professional world is sending emails when you are angry or frustrated or upset, because that tone comes out and it can come out as rude. And then it's in writing, like that you were rude. So try to, if you are angry or frustrated about something or stressed, calm down before you write and send an email. Somebody once gave me a tip of smile while you're writing an email, or this works when you're talking on the phone as well, because your tone will come out politer. I like to use emojis as a way to effectively communicate tone, like sarcasm or something. So I approve and encourage that. Some people in the professional world may find it unprofessional to use emojis, so you do kind of need to know your audience there. But in the meantime, just read my example of a good versus a bad email to send to an instructor. One of the most referenced parts of the syllabus is the grade breakdown. I like to use a pie chart in order to display it as a handy visual to go along with the list of percentages. And I am going to take a couple of minutes to explain each category and how they will work this semester. Starting with attendance and participation, which is 5% of your grade, and it will be based on weekly live review sessions. So these are not lectures. The lectures will be recorded and posted for you to watch on your own time. But when we get together in a live format, it will be for social connecting. It will be for you to ask questions, for me to work extra review problems, and for me to like pop quiz you, not for a grade, but to sort of assess and see where you are and see what's confusing and what needs more explanation. So I really expect these live sessions to be really beneficial to your learning, and so I am making them a required component of the course. That being said, I will make them as flexible as possible. So the times are not set yet. They are to be determined based on your availability. So I'll be surveying you in the week leading up to class, in the first week of class, to see what times work for you. And then I will offer 2 options per week. And you only have to come once a week, but there will be 2 different times for you to choose from. And you can come to different times each week if that works for you. I'm also allowing for 3 free absences over the course of the semester. So over a 15-week semester, that's 15 times I'm asking you to attend class, but you get 3 free absences. So essentially, in order to get 100 on your participation and attendance grade, you need to attend class 12 times over the course of the semester, which is not too bad. And if you miss additional classes, I'll take the grade out of 12. So if you miss 5 classes total, that's 3 free absences and then 2 out of 12. So you'll have a grade of 10 out of 12, which is something like 85%-ish. I'm not great at percentages in my head, so still not so bad. Not a huge penalty. Essentially, I want to encourage you to come to these live sessions because I think they're going to be really beneficial. The next component of the grade is homework, which is 10% of your grade, and the homework will be completed online through that Chem 101 online website, and there will be about 30 problems a week, so about 30 problems per chapter. You will have multiple attempts for each question. There is a small penalty for each wrong attempt, so you lose 5 points on the question each time you have to try again. But it's homework, and it's okay to make mistakes on homework. You learn from mistakes. So I really encourage you not to try to like look up answers and get it right the first time and not attempt it if you don't know for sure you're going to be right. Feel free to make mistakes, to trip up a little and learn from your mistakes. And on the in order to compensate for that, I do round the homework grades, and I round them up to the nearest 10. So if you got an 81 on a homework assignment, I would round it up to a 90. So I really give you the benefit of the doubt that you lost points because you were using those additional attempts and learning from them. Also, if you're just really stuck and you don't know how to do the problem and you're just guessing, all right, that's not going to help. So I encourage you, if you're in that situation, to get help. You can either ask me in a live session or email me or message me, or you can ask a classmate, or you can sign up for an LAC tutor. If you're struggling in the homework, that means you're struggling to understand the material you need for the test, and that's the time to get help. Since the homework, I will give you at least a week to complete it all. I do not do homework extensions. They're due when they're due for a reason, to help pace you through the material. But I do want you to do it, so I will accept it late, because better late than never with the homework. So if it's a little bit late, I take 10% off per day. So if you got a 90, but it was a day late, you'd get an 80. And after 5 days, I won't deduct any more points. So if it's 5 days late or 15 days late, it's half credit, 50%. The lowest homework grade will be dropped, so you get sort of one free get out of homework card. So one homework that you can forget or be really late and not have it affect your grade. Quizzes are the next component. Quizzes will also be 10% of the grade. They will be in Blackboard, they'll be timed, and they'll be very short. So these are what I call benchmark quizzes or competency quizzes. I take a really important sort of skill from the chapter, the most important basic skill from the chapter, and I quiz you on that, because you need to master those basic skills in order to be able to do more advanced problems. So I will quiz you on these sort of basic skills each chapter. You will actually have multiple attempts at the quiz. You'll have 3 attempts, but they are all or nothing. So if you don't get 100, you get a 0. And I will have to figure out how to do that in Blackboard. I might have to go in and manually do that, but it's pass-fail. So you have 3 attempts to get that 100, otherwise you have a 0. And that's because these simple basic skills are so important to master in order to be successful in the class. So each time you take the quiz, it will be a different set of variables. So it won't be the exact same quiz, but it'll be the same wording, just different different numbers that you'll be working with. There are no extensions on the quizzes. You have to take them by the date, but I will drop 1 low quiz grade. Labs are also a component of a general chemistry class, and as I said in the beginning, I did assemble lab kits for you guys this semester, so some of the labs will be actual hands-on labs that you're doing from the lab kit. Sometimes they will be virtual, some activity that you're doing online. So it'll be a combination, and the labs will include the activity, but also usually several questions, like pre-lab questions, post-lab questions, some analysis that you have to do. So there are no extensions for labs. Again, I like to have them done on time, but I understand sometimes things come up and you might be a little bit late turning in your lab, so I still accept late work. But again, for a penalty, same penalty as the homework being late. And I will also allow for 1 dropped lab grade, so if there's like a week where you really can't get it done, or you just really do poorly on a lab, you have that one grade drop. And unit tests and the final exam, so the tests are the last component of the class. The unit tests, there will be 3 of them, and they cover about 3 chapters each. They will be both composed of multiple choice and short answer questions, and you will take them in Blackboard. There will be test days, so you'll have a 24-hour period that you can log in to take the test, but once you start the test, it is timed. So once you start it, you have to finish it within the allotted time. So that allows everyone to pick the best time of day for them that works with their work schedule or their personal schedule. So just know that you don't have 24 hours to look up all the answers and do the test, but you have 24 hours to decide, a 24-hour window to decide when you're going to take the test. There are no grade drops for tests. All 3 tests count towards your grade. And because of that, I can be a little bit flexible with dates. So if you have extenuating circumstances, like you're very sick, or you get mandated to work or something like that, I can give you a small extension of, a few hours or a day. But you do have to communicate those needs with me. So that's really key. You can't just like skip the test and then a couple days later say, oh, I couldn't take it because. I really need to know at the time of or beforehand so that we can work out that extension. The final exam I'll talk more about later in the semester, but just know that it will be comprehensive, so it will cover all the chapters that we cover in the class, and it will be similar to the format of the test in that it will be available in Blackboard for a large window, but once you start it, you have a small window of time to complete it. So that's all the grading stuff. Other important parts of the syllabus are the course and college policies. If you have an ADA or 504 plan for accommodations, or you had an IEP in high school, you need to get that paperwork processed with our ADA 504 coordinator so that I can allow for those accommodations that you need. Her name is Cami Sheridan, and her email address is listed here. I can only give students accommodations once that paperwork is completed. So whether or not you get accommodations, I really encourage all students to get a tutor. And this is in any class that you expect to be challenging. And that's because I have personal experience being tutored. When I was in college, I got tutoring in all of my science courses, and it was so helpful, and it's free. Well, it's, I guess, technically not free. You're paying for it as part of your tuition and your fees. So you're already paying for it. You might as well use it. And it's better to get a tutor early on and sort of head off any struggles rather than waiting until you're struggling or failing a course and then trying to get a tutor to catch up. It's better to get one early, and then if you feel like you don't need it, to stop doing it than to wait until you're drowning in the course. The academic integrity policy is all about honesty. So I like to tell students, always remember that you are here to learn, not to make grades. Right? Sometimes students become really hyper-focused on the grades that they need to get into a certain program, and it sort of motivates them to engage in dishonest practices in order to achieve the grades they need. But then they don't obtain the knowledge they need, and they ultimately fail the licensing exams, or they fail at higher level courses, or they fail in the profession and they can't get a job or keep a job. So cheating now ultimately leads to, even if you don't get caught and you pass now, it ultimately leads to failure later on because you're not getting the knowledge that you need to be successful. So while I do design the assessments in the class as best I can to minimize cheating opportunities, I'm also trusting you to show honesty and integrity in your coursework. So don't cheat. Since we're in the midst of a pandemic, there are some restrictions in place for students coming to campus, and that's the COVID policy. So that's probably going to change throughout the semester, but so far what you need to know is that campuses are open to students being able to use the library and the Learning Assistance Center, the LAC, but you do need to make an appointment. You need to wear a mask when you're on campus, and you also have to fill out an online health screening tool in order to be allowed on campus. Then some other policies that I like to mention are those around sexual harassment and diversity and inclusion. So the college does not condone sexual harassment in any form, verbal or physical, between employees or students. So if you experience sexual harassment from anyone at the college, even if it's unrelated to our class, please know that you're safe to confide in me. I do have to report it to our Title IX coordinator, whose job it is to contact you to determine how you want to handle and move forward with the situation. I also have a diversity and inclusion statement in the syllabus because I really aspire to create a learning environment that is open to and supports and celebrates um, diverse experiences and diverse identities, whether it be religious or gender or sexuality or race or ability. So I try to be respectful and inclusive at all times. I ask that you be respectful and inclusive. And if you feel discriminated against at any time by me or by classmates, please let me know, because when we know better, we can do better. And then finally, there's the instructor's academic right, which basically says, I'm the boss and I can make changes as I see fit in the course as we go along, which I do sometimes. I try to be flexible and make changes as I see them. But I'm also kind of type A, and I make a plan at the beginning of the semester and I try really hard to stick to it. So the syllabus is not quite written in stone, but usually, more often than not, I stick pretty clearly to it. So you can expect that. Lastly, I just wanted to give you a little tour of the Blackboard page for this course. When you log in, this is what the welcome page looks like. And it starts with a list of things to do, sort of a checklist, that as you scroll down the page, you'll be able to access all of those things. So this is like basically everything we would do on the first day of class if we were in person. So it shouldn't take you too long. I think maybe an hour, hour and a half to do all of these things. And then other parts of the course are in the menu on the left-hand side. So after you complete all of the sort of welcome activities, you can read a little bit more about me under Meet the Instructor. And you can also quickly access the course calendar, which is available in the syllabus in the What's Due When section. Under course content, you have the weekly lesson plans, which may initially be hidden to you until the class starts. But that's where you will go for the rest of the course to access lecture videos and assignments and labs for each week of the course. When you click on that link, you're going to see a bunch of folders with dates, and you'll open the folder to find the list of assignments for that week, and it'll look very similar to this welcome page. There'll be a list of things to do, and then you'll scroll down to do each of those assignments and watch the videos, etc. The next thing is Blackboard Collaborate. That's like a built-in Zoom platform. So it's a tool within Blackboard that allows us to video conference or web conference. And that's how we will do our live sessions. And they can also be recorded, so you can watch them over again later, or if you miss the session, you can watch it within Blackboard. So that's just a link to those sessions. When you click on it, it will bring you to a page with a list of live sessions that you click on and can join, just like a Zoom call. Under quick links, I have quick links that allow you to send me an email with a click of a button, or contact the LAC to get a tutor with a click of a button, or check your grades with a click of a button. And about grades, you should check those regularly. Make sure that none are missing or are incorrect, because I am human and I make mistakes. So if you do ever notice an incorrect grade, just shoot me an email and let me know, and we'll get it fixed. And then lastly are some quick tech help options. There's some video tutorials that you can watch to help get you oriented to Blackboard. There's also the link to the Blackboard help page, where you can just click into a search bar, how do I upload an assignment, and it'll bring up help. And then there's the NCCC help desk if you need help troubleshooting technical errors with the pages not loading properly, or you can't get into your email, your login's not working, etc. So that was a lot, and I'm hoping that you found it helpful and feel like you know what you're getting into now and how to get started. So if you have any questions, please email me or message me in the Remind app if you've done that yet. And I will see you soon. Bye.